And while we're doing that, you can download that Prudential Auto Group commercial with your other iRacing commercials, and we'll be fine. Ready to go here in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania for the drivers of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. This is round number 14, and we are set to go on LSRTV, your home for sim racing, with also co-production tonight being brought to you by Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As before we actually get ready to go racing tonight, we would like to keep our thoughts and prayers with our good friend Charles Wooten. His uncle is having health issues today, and in doing so, he is unable to be on assignment for our LSR TV coverage. We tried to broadcast the SMB Cup Series due to logistical technical issues in trying to prep ahead. We weren't able to do so. But our good buddy up in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, Robert Moyer, has stepped up to the bat, and we are ready to go here for what it was round number 15, but actually round 14 of points races for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series presented by the Tom Ditchell Automotive Group. I am Wesley Outland, back in from vacation, back in the saddle again, trying to stay cool in temperatures that are the hottest ever in Washington State is my partner, Greg Rentz. And in California, it's always California, is Samuel Dyer. Greg, man, first off, I hope you're staying obviously hydrated and cool, because it sounds like up in Washington, nothing compared to what I think we're going to see here with the trucks at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle tonight.
Oh, it's definitely hot up here, Wesley. And here's something that we talked a little bit about on Monday in the Cup Series that I think is going to happen here also. The hot temperatures lead to hot tempers in this racing, and we saw a caution-free race on Monday. They were able to behave themselves. We didn't get into an opportunity for those tempers to flare. However, these hot temperatures in the state of Washington, where primarily these drivers are from, could affect that just a little bit. A lot of drivers have been working all day trying to stay cool. Again, we're in a record-setting heat wave here. We saw the all-time state record for hottest temperature ever recorded break yesterday, and we saw it come close again today. It's been like this for about 5 days now. We're looking at it for at least another week. So it's very, very hot here in the state of Washington and in the Northwest. So I'm expecting these guys to really be trying to bring the action cool down here at Pocono, but I'm looking for maybe a little bit of tempers flaring here if something gets a little out of hand as the race wears on.
Samuel Dyer, how's things going in California, brother? And what do you think we're going to see about what turn 4?
Oh, it's turn 4. Certainly is going to be an incredible corner here at the Tricky Triangle. As we know, triangles are 4 corners. But over here in California, you guys are dealing with the heat. It has been very nice where I'm at. Been a nice crisp 80 degrees, cooler than what you guys are handling with. So I'm keeping myself cool over here. But the track certainly is going to be a wild one. 3 corners, so different from one another. And Monday night, got to see the drivers handling with a fixed setup. Here for the Truck Series, these drivers got to mess with their setup. It's an open setup night, so you got to pick and choose which corner you really wanted to focus on.
First off, again, let me reiterate, LSR TV production is not handling the broadcast, but it's good to have friends in the world of iRacing, in the world of motorsports, Little Reality, and our good buddy Robert Moyer Jr. with Freaky Fast Broadcasting has stepped up to the plate. I've done numerous iRacing broadcast. We did an awesome IndyCar 500, I think it was September of last year. I enjoyed working that event. And that was a fun one. In the realm of everything from ARCA to trucks to Cup to the IndyCars. He likes them, and we're glad that he was able to step into the plate. And by the way, happy 24 hours. He celebrated his birthday as well. Charles had a family emergency. He is dealing with emergency with his family. Prayers to his uncle. Hopefully that will get better. And in doing so, this is a quick step in. So again, we want to thank Freaky Fast Broadcasting for jumping in on this LSR TV and as well on the Community Radio Network.com. Qualifying is about to conclude, and once that gets done and wrapped up, we will give you the starting lineup. As right now, Greg, it looks like Kevin Smith Could today be the day for the man in the 00? Could he finally win on the Northwest Racing Series tonight?
Well, he had a very, very fast race car on Monday night. Wesley, second on the board in practice, and followed it up by setting the pole on Monday night in the Cup Series. The problem was he caught the wall early, and it unfortunately relegated him deep in the field for that race. Looking for a bounce back here. Dan West Jr. sitting second right now. Another one who's looking for a bounce back because he had a fast race car as well. Also hit the wall early, got mired back into some traffic, got caught up in another accident coming on the pit road, stayed green, and he got a double penalty in that one. Wound up finishing a lap down. He's looking for a bounce back in the 55 as you watch BJ Tidrick in the 72.
Yeah, we're going to watch Tidrick now. The Super Flow Hendrick colors of Cole Trickle's machine from Days of Thunder. And it's ironic that his only win on the series was at Darlington, where Cole Trickle in the movie got his first ever win in the Super Flow colors as well. So there you go with Kevin Smith, Dan West Jr., Stephen O'Hare, Jeff Stabnow. Right now, Chris White, your top 5 as qualifying is about to conclude. Samuel, what do you think we're going to see here, bud? Should be an exciting race for the trucks at Pocono.
Yeah, it certainly should be. I mean, Monday night showed us a great preview of different strategy calls. We saw that of Stephen O'Hare, as well as Tyler King, stretching the race out to a one-stop situation. Here tonight, drivers might be thinking about a very similar strategy of a one-stop, but most likely we're going to be seeing most of the field going for a two-stop strategy of coming in twice and trying to get themselves packed full of fuel and tires. But we didn't really see any cautions on Monday. Could be a different story here tonight.
By the way, if you are joining us, the broadcast is not on the LSRTV Facebook tonight. You just simply have to go to the LSRTV YouTube channel, and you will be able to keep up with the broadcast. There is a link posted right now with the information for the broadcast on the LSRTV social media, so you can be able to keep up with it. Right now, it looks like Kevin Smith, Dan West Jr. are going to be your front row. Maybe a couple of more takers in qualifying as, nope, that's it. Qualifying is about to be concluded. And I'll tell you what, they're gritting, ready to go for 80 laps, 200 miles. It is next. Starting lineup, when we get them set on the grid, should be a good race here. There's your qualifying results. Kevin Smith, 53.948 seconds. He is the fast qualifier, but only less than 200 spins is Dan West Jr. He's looking for his third win in the Truck Series. He won the opening race at Daytona. He also won the race at Ridge. And now Stephen O'Hare looking strong for him. Jeff Stabnow, could tonight be the night for him? He's fourth on the grid. And they are getting lined up and ready to go. Give you your starting lineup, and I guess this is by the qualifying results. Am I correct, Robert? This is the lineup. So Kevin Smith and Dan West Jr. will make up row number 1. Row number 2 will find Stephen O'Hare in the 41. Jeff Stabnow, row 2. Again, we do want to thank Team 126 Racing. We are doing a simulcast on not only LSRTV, but Freaky Fast Broadcasting on the production tonight and on CRN Sports, so things might look different than before. It's just because of the way that Freaky Fast Broadcasting does their setup. Row number 3 will find Chris White at 83, Devin West in the number 5. Row number 4, Ryan Bloom in the 25, John Audenbacher in truck number 89, and Greg Rentz to round out your top 10 starters. Dennis Moore will start 9th in 44, Troy Daggett in 51, your top 10.
Two top 10 qualifying efforts this week for Troy Daggett. Awesome to see. But behind him, the winner last week in the Truck Series picked up his second win of the season, Paul Newton in number 81. Will roll off 11th with the Catman. James Viney, new look on board the Cup car on Monday. We'll have to wait to see if it's on the truck as well. Steve Paulson, Daytona winner in the Cup Series, rolls off in lucky 13th. Sean Brightman, who is the defending Cup Series champion and all-time winningest driver in Series history, in 14th. Robert Gamble back in the field, had a good run a couple of weeks ago at Laguna Seca, along with Toby Ritters, who missed Monday night with power outages, we're assuming due to the heat here in the Northwest. That rounded out the top 16 standings.
In 17th, it's going to be Tyler King, and then in 18th, it's going to be that of Frank Harris. Frank Harris hoping to finish out this race as he wasn't able to finish it out on Monday. Jed Wakefield going to be in 19th, 20th, going to be Aaron Cooper. It looks like that of James Thurston, if he does start, he's going to be starting in pit road with that of Carl Burke, BJ Tidrick, and Scott Hutchinson, who is going to be the 4 drivers that did not put down a qualifying time, so they'll be starting in the back. My driver to watch out for, guys, got to be Dennis Moore in 9th place. He didn't have the fastest qualifying run on Monday, but he did show that he had a really quick long run pace, and with Lake Peterson not here, the 44's got a great shot to win.
And that's the starting lineup presented by Team 126 Racing here at the Pocono Raceway. Now, for those that do not know, Pocono Raceway, built by the Mattioli family, 2.5 miles long in distance, and the track has 3 unique straightaways. One straightaway mimics the world's greatest sports course in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Another straightaway mimics the Trenton International Raceway, and the other straightaway is the Milwaukee Mile. Those 3 straightaways on very unique turns as well to mock what used to be Nazareth Speedway. You throw that in the mix and you've got yourselves for the ingredients of a healthy portion of iRacing entertainment, as it is round 14 tonight for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, presented by the Tom Denchel Automotive Group. It's great to be back in the saddle again. Thank you to Greg and Samuel for covering in my absence. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway at Pocono. The outside lane will get the jump on the green flag as it's Dan West Jr. A wealth of momentum where they can stick it 2, 3, 4, 5 wide deep. But right as soon as that happens, Greg, they better get back to 2x2 as it's West on the outside lane off of turn 2.
Promised a lot on Monday. The outside line very good on corner entry, but the inside line was able to fight back on the bottom on corner exit. Not the case here today. West was able to clear Smith. We have a little bit of a 2-car break before we get down into the tunnel turn Indianapolis corner that we talked about there. West today. It looks like we got about a 4-truck breakaway up at the front between West, Smith, and Stefano Harris in third on Monday night, and Chris Mike, who was at the top 5 Monday night as well.
I'll tell you what, Samuel, 1 lap in right now. You're seeing the battle here for third. Stefano O'Hare, Chris White stab now. And we're going to watch and see what he can do here as he is right there nip-tucking that little sandwich as their single file for the moment. They'll snake their way back into the corner. We're 1 lap in, and Dan West Jr. leads the open and go. That battle for third, fourth, and fifth continues off 2.
Yeah, in 5th place, Jeff Stab now. He actually told us that he really didn't get any time to practice coming into this race for the Truck Series, and so his only true practice time was during qualifying, which he showed great pace for the 24. Excited to see how he can now translate that pace that he learned from the qualifying, and maybe he's learned something on the longer runs, but getting a little bit too tight through the tunnel turn. We'll see if he can correct that the longer the run goes on, Wesley.
2.5 miles the distance here at the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway here for round 14 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. The equivalent is 200 miles. That makes up the 80 laps the distance. 78 now make it 77 to go as they roar back down the straightaway. It's Dan West Jr., Kevin Smith, Stefano O'Hare, Chris White, Jeff Stab now falls to the top 5 as they roar back to 1.
We're looking at 4th place, Chris White right now in number 83. And Wesley, I know you weren't here on Monday, but we were having a very gradually worked his way through the field, patiently picking his moment. By the end of it, came over the top 5 and looking very stout here in the early stages after qualifying in the top 5 this time.
Working now lap number 3 of 80. Here they work their way off that corner, back down into 2. By the way, being a Californian like you are, Samuel Dyer, how about the Phoenix Suns beating the LA Clippers? The Clippers are out of the playoffs. Wow.
Don't start with me.
It's really no surprise. The Clippers have some terrible playoff luck, but you're seeing a bunch of drivers snaking it down to the inside, as that's going to be led by that of Paul Newen, he has come with a head of steam back there. Has got a train of cars coming around. Also got to watch out for Sean Brightsman, and also that of Tyler King.
Lap 4 of 80, and again, Dan West Jr. is leading this fight. There goes Sean Brightsman, closes in under the 51 machine of Troy Datt. Also in front of him is the of Tyler King. You're running on board now with the Ford of Tyler King. Could today be the day for him, Greg, to break through to victory lane? A solid top 10 run now in the opening couple of laps.
Before that, just for the record, I am a Clippers fan, so that's a touchy subject right about this segment. But going back to Tyler King in the number 21, he led quite a few laps on Monday night, was one of those guys who tried the fuel strategy, did not quite get it. He came home with, a fourth place finish in the drag race with his teammate Stephen O'Hare. So it was close between him and Stephen O'Hare. He might get that first breakthrough win.
Watching it now, the trucks here working their way. I think we talked about this, guys, as we still show the above view of Tyler King. It is foggy here at Pocono.
Oh, yeah,
I think somebody hit the machine and left it on, and it's foggy in the mountains here today, Samuel.
Oh, it's absolutely foggy, and it's one of those factors that the drivers have to be a little bit concerned about if you get spread out too far on these extreme long stretches like the front stretch, when you really could have a trouble seeing what's in front of you. As what's crazy is, outside temp 71 degrees, that track temp, though, it continues to rise as it's 102 on the track.
By the way, don't forget, week off for 4th of July holiday, celebrating our nation's independence and freedom this upday night, and on as well Wednesday of next week. And then, Greg, we return for the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. It's going to be fun. 150 laps for the Cup cars, 150 laps for the trucks on the dirt at Knoxville, just like the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series will do in a couple of weeks in Iowa as well.
That's going to be very interesting. The Truck Series has traditionally done just like what NASCAR does. They go to Eldora, and this year they went to Bristol Dirt as well. But again, first time in series history, they're hitting Knoxville. Excuse me, I almost said Nashville, because Nashville's coming up here as the next race on the schedule for the trucks after the 4th of July off. Then we go to Nashville, then Knoxville. Two very, very unique races coming up here next up for the Northwest Truck Series.
Yeah, July 14th, Knoxville, as well as July 12th for the Cup cars. And then on the July the 19th and 21st, the Nashville Super Speedway. For the most part this year, the Northwest iRacing Truck Series has tried to somewhat mimic what the real NASCAR traveling schedule is for both the Cup and the trucks. Remember, the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, and trucks were in action in Pennsylvania this past weekend at Pocono. Of course, we saw Alex Bowman win the race on Saturday after Kyle Larson blew a tire coming to turn 3 to the finish, leading. Then, of course, we saw what happened to Denny Hamlin running out of fuel. Kyle Busch overcoming what problems he had on Sunday afternoon, and it won the second race of the doubleheader. Plus ARCA Racing, shout out to my buddy Corey Heim. He picked up the win in the ARCA Menard Series on Friday. And then, of course, trucks and Exodus as well. John Hunter Nemechek picking up the win for the Truck Series. And then on Sunday, the Xfinity Series was in action as well. We're on lap number 8 of 80 here at Pocono. It's our time to shine. The drivers of Virtual Go Fast on the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Kevin Smith, Samuel, again, strong run for the 00. He is really looking good, staying out in front, but there's still a lot of racing left to go, as we're about to be 1/8 of the distance through on lap 10 in a few more laps.
Yeah, Kevin Smith certainly right now up front, over a half a second ahead of that of Dan West Jr. And for that of Kevin Smith, he's continuing to try to pull away, but I think he's learned a lot of information. His data stab now up close to the wall. The biggest issue that a lot of these drivers had in the first about 15 laps of our Monday night race was getting too close to that outside wall, making contact, too much damage that made them fade back. That's what happened to Kevin Smith when he had a great qualifying run on Monday. He's really learned a lot, keeping that truck off the outside wall.
Hey, Greg, what do you think of the new wrap job, the red, white, and blue on the LSRTV 4K Ford of Jeff Stabnow from Billings, Montana? It
definitely looks awesome, Wesley. Getting in the spirit with the 4th of July is that number 24 of Jeff Stabnow, sitting in the 5th spot right now. Kind of lurking back there right now, though. Not really taking any chances. Just kind of hanging back, watching these first 4 come out and let the race come to him. We talked about that a lot. A lot of drivers will do that. As you watch Paulson there in the number 41, Stabnow out directly behind him in the number 24. We talk about letting the race come to you. And that seems to me that's what he's doing here, Wesley. We're 10 laps in the books this time by when they cross the stripe. Follow up there on Kevin Smith talking about how well he's done. A lot of that has to be because of the creation of that Northwest ARCA series. He has a win in that series, but has been very, very competitive just about every single time he competes in that, and it is shown in waves what he has been able to do. Another winner on that ARCA series is this number 54 right here, Robert Gamble. He picked up the win at Laguna Seca for his first Northwest Racing Series victory, and the ARCA series paying off for him as well. However, not having the race he wants. You see here, you take a look at some action throughout the field. Here's a nice little hornet's nest. We got Frank Harris, Troy Daggett mixing it up. Stephen Paulison, who won the ARCA race here at Pocono on Friday night. Toby Ritters is there. Clifford's back in the number 23. A whole host of drivers battling it out. And this is all going on for position right now. This is for 15th on back.
You're seeing some of the different sponsors that are popping up, like Butt Kicker, kind of like the Pulse Popper Fishing Lure. They are instant replays. We had the Pulse Poppers Midget Series. We, again, want to thank so much to Robert Moyer Sr. stepping up or Robert Moyer Jr. I'm sorry, don't make him sound older than what he is. Robert Moyer Jr. for stepping up at the midnight hour to make happen. We were supposed to have been doing an event with Extreme Sim TV in the absence of Charles Wooten for the S&B Cup Series. Technical issues there. Appreciate the efforts by Matthew Johnson. However, we felt it was best to try to find a quick sub. And in doing so, it's a late night, but Robert Moyer Jr. stepped up to the plate to make it happen. And we sincerely thank him again to do this LSRTV Freaky Fast broadcasting and simulcast on Sierra Audio as well. I'm Wesley Outland, Greg Brent, Samuel Dyer. Robert Moyer Jr. is a.k.a. him tonight, as we always call Charles Wooten him. Hopefully he gets to feeling better, has a family emergency with his uncle. Hopefully things go well. Judd Wakefield, there he is, number 50, bouncing off the wall. He holds on to it, keeps it going. There goes Troy Daggett. There goes Stephen Paulison. Frank Harris. James Vining, the Cat Man, looking for a move on Carl Burke. Samuel as they dive down into turn 3.
Yeah, this pack of drivers, they finally have figured out how to single file out, because the start of the race, they have been side by side this whole entire time. And about 3 laps ago, that of Aaron Cooper almost got sent to the inside wall after a little bit of a tap from that of Frank Harris. And now these drivers starting to figure out where they want to go, and you're starting to see some of the guys that were not protecting their tires, like Frank Harris, they're starting to fade back. As that is Stephen Paulson, he moves forward, and so does that of Clifford. Toby Ritters, he is moving away.
Here comes Clifford, the big red dog. It's Bud time, and he roars into turn number 1 with a good shot to go into the top 10 there, Greg.
Trying to reel in the next group, which is made up by Paul Newton. You take a look at some action a little bit further ahead right here. Here's Sean Brightsman, the defending Cup Series champion. In front of him is his teammate John Ottenbacher. That's Dennis Moore in the orange truck right there. Number 44 finished second on Monday night in the Cup Series. But notice that, Wesley, you saw we go on board with him. I noticed a little bit of damage on the right rear of that number 44 truck.
Keeping an eye on that as well, as there goes the machine of Dennis Moore ready to the outside. John Ottenbacher, he's right there. There you see him peek in up on the right side. And they bore their way back on the corner into turn 1. There goes the RPMs up between 5 and 6. As Dennis Moore down the back door camera. As there goes right in front of Ottenbacher. Drifts up in front of Tyler King as well. Open that door to the inside. Tyler King with a move in the Pills Orange entry, clearing in front of Sean Brightsman. Ottenbacher down to the inside. Dennis Moore stuck on the outside, Samuel, as they work off turn 2.
King's got to be careful. He was really being pinched there. And, you know, coming out of the tunnel turn, you want to drift up, carry as much momentum as possible. And for King, he had to really let off, so he didn't take out Dennis Moore or even bring in that of Bridesman, but they keep it clean and green. But there goes King. Gets out of control, ducks it low, but holds on and doesn't go into the pit wall.
Boy, what a save for the Pills Orange's forward entry of Tyler King. Whoa! There you go, from that blimp viewer, from that drone cam, if you will. As it shows you right there, getting loose a moment ago. He saves it, keeps on going, back in the fight. Turn one, shrugs off the dust off his knees, and he's right back on the high horse again. He's after Breitzman. He's after Dennis Moore. He's after Ottenbacher at the speed to the back straightaway. They go off turn two, Greg.
King, who led 7 laps on Monday night, was up near the front pretty much all day. Just kind of riding it out right now with his teammate Moore in that orange truck. They're side by side right now. But how about it for Sean Breitzman, just kind of hanging in there right now, not really taking any unnecessary chances at this moment. You see him there in the field number 46, trying to get a run on the outside there to try to get past King. Now he's hooked up with his teammate John Ottenbacher there. They're hooked up on the outside. And we were beginning to see this, Samuel, me and you saw this a little bit last Monday night. Starting to see some two-truck tangos begin to form here a little bit there. Kind of like what we saw on Monday. The draft coming into play again here at Pocono.
Yeah, drivers trying to pick and choose how they want to really save fuel. We saw that for O'Hare and also for King on Mondays. They stretched it out past halfway to turn this race into a one-stop. And it's going to be one of those things where drivers are going to have to pick and choose. Do they want to try the odd strategy, or do they want to stick with what kind of won for Lake Peterson and for that of Dennis Moore? They stuck with a two-stop strategy, worked out for them, as you're just seeing some teammate action. That is a massive shove from the 46 to the 89.
But teammates off what turn four? For a little bit they were. Now they'll battle for that spot. As here comes Breitzman and Ottenbacher, Team LSRTV up on the outside lane, trying to get by on the inside. The orange 44 of Moore. King in 21. They'll clear them, but now they'll battle with each other side by side off into one.
Breitzman's going to try to clear here off of turn number 1. He will. Side by side behind him between Ottenbacher and Moore with King back there. This is the best battle on the racetrack. And we don't lose sight of that Monster Energy number 25 as well. Ryan Bloom, he's lurking back there as well. He's a guy, Wesley, who we have seen a lot of speed out of since joining the series in that number 25 Monster Energy Ford F-150. Since joining the series this year as a rookie, a lot of speed out of him.
Well, we've got approaching lap number 20. So I made the joking cliche 1/8 of the way through. Some people laughed. Some people didn't understand what that meant, maybe. 1/8 of 80 laps is 10. So go do the math. That's why I said 1/8. We're officially going to be 1/4 of the way through, coming up on lap number 20. We're going to go 8 by 8 by 8 of a 24 truck field and give you your full field rundown as we approach lap number 18, coming up on lap 20 here at Pocono. Dan West Jr. leads the way. Stephen O'Hare is second, followed by Kevin Smith third. Jeff Stabnow fourth. Chris White is fifth. Devin West is sixth. Sean Breitzman seventh. Tyler King currently in eighth position.
That's how they currently stack up with Dennis Moore in the 44 and John Ottenbacher rounding at the top 10. You got Bloom in the 25, Gamble in the number 54, Tidrick in the number 72. The Days of Thunder tribute there. He is holding on over Paul Newton, last week's winner. Toby Ritters, Steve Paulison round out the next group of 8. Sam, finish them off.
Then in 17th, you got Jed Wakefield in the 50 trying to make a pass on Paulison. And then behind them, the Catman, they got James Vining just lingering behind, waiting to make his move, but might be thinking about saving fuel. A couple car lengths behind them, that's where you find Frank Harris and Aaron Cooper to truck tangoing. And then behind them, Burke and also Hutchison's working to try to save some fuel for themselves. And then all by himself is Troy Daggett. And he's got to be careful. He's a half a track away from going a lap down, and he's got some heavy rear end damage for the 51.
And that's the full field rundown here at Pocono Raceway as we're about to be 20 laps in, 60 to go. Dan West Jr. and down Stephen O'Hare with the battle for the lead to the back straightaway as they go into turn 2.
West either got the wall or came dang close and had to check out of the throttle. Either way, it opened the door for Stephen O'Hare there in the number 41 to get a run on the outside. West, I don't see any damage, so I think he stayed off the wall, but he definitely had to get out of the throttle, which allows O'Hare to take the lead.
They're a different leader of the race. We started with Kevin Smith. Now it's West falling back to the bridesmaid spot. Stephen O'Hare peels teammate to Tyler King in the lead in 41. Samuel off turn 2.
Still, Stephen O'Hare showing that he's got some speed here, just letting himself cruise. I think for O'Hare, he tested out the theory on Monday of how long could he stretch out his fuel. This time around, being aggressive and trying to do the same League Peterson strat of get up front, try to pull away, and have the biggest lead possible before coming into pit road, which, Wesley, we're inside of that range for drivers coming to pit stops.
Yeah, that pit window coming up anytime soon. We will step away, take a quick break. When we come back, green flag pit stops at Pocono as LSRTV, Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and CRN Sports continues coverage of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series in a moment.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
25 of 80 laps completed, working now lap number 26, and there's the leader out in front. It's still Stephen O'Hare. Welcome back to coverage on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, LSRTV simulcasting, as well as on the Community Radio Network, with coverage of round 14 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series presented by the Tom Denchel Automotive Group. I'm Wesley Outland, Samuel Dyer, Greg Rentz alongside, and of course Robert Moyer Jr. in the production chair, filling in for Charles Wooten and Rocket Media. It is right now Stephen O'Hara leading the way. Dan West Jr. losing ground, Greg, less than 2 seconds back as green flag pit stops are also underway in sequence.
We noticed it during that commercial break. There is a little bit of damage on the 55 of West Jr. He's coming out
and here comes
right
more
now with his teammate Stab now. Oh, Kevin Smith, look out! Oh,
no!
Stab now! Oh no! Oh no!
Jeff Stabnow cannot get a break if you threw the dog a bone and even let him know a blind man could find it. Oh my goodness.
What in the world? No!
It's okay, guys. It's okay. He does have a fast repair, so he will be able to use that, but you don't want to be using it this early on in this race.
No, you don't.
And what a heartbreak. And look at the damage to Smith's truck as well. He's going to pull in. And Sam, just like Monday night, a little bit of damage on Monday, a bit more considerable damage here, but Smith does not take the fast repair.
Let's take a look at the replay, our first replay of the night, and it happens with cars and trucks entering on the pit lane. Are you kidding me? Kevin Smith rip-roared, slip-sliding away through the grass on the way to pit lane, and all of a sudden, nowhere to go for the 24 of Stabnow. Dan West Jr. just barely slithered his way by. And oh my
Trying
goodness.
to find the replay here. And notice that Kevin Smith's still on pit road. He got a penalty. He may have gotten that double whammy there, Sam. Unsafe pit entry and speeding on pit road that we saw West get.
Yeah, and then you can tell there, he was on pit road in his pit box for 55.1 seconds, so that means he did have both penalties. So now the 00's back out on track. Last car out on the field, so a lot of trouble for himself. And while we were trying to find the replay, couldn't get it, but that of Stephen O'Hare did come into pit road, so O'Hare not trying the same strategy that he did on Monday.
And what a tough break for Kevin Smith. Fast qualifier, was really a strong contender in this race, but again, another slip, and this has cost him now one lap down, a speeding penalty as well. We knew there was going to be a speeding penalty for Kevin Smith. He came in there without getting on the binders and then slammed into Jeff Stabnow. The mercy of this is he did have that fast repair, but the truck seemed really strong, Greg. And Samuel, I don't think he wanted to use it just before halfway on lap 30.
No, he definitely did not want to have that. Still trying to find it. There you see the pit stop for Kevin Smith. There's Stephen O'Hare behind him getting his service. Still trying to find
Yeah, we're trying to find the replay, and
Looks
you
like
see
we're
people
just gonna
going
go
in
ahead and do it
reverse.
the
So
old-fashioned way here.
yeah, when all else fails, just hit the rewind like the old VCR days. Does people know about VCRs? I don't know if they do or not. Maybe I'm unveiling how old I am.
There you see the damage out of the 00. All right, here we go.
All
Oh,
right,
boy.
now hit play. Here we go. Thank you to the VCR, Robert Moyer Jr.
Be
Now we
kind,
go
rewind.
in play. Be kind, rewind. Exactly right.
You
Look
see
at
Smith break
Smith.
loose there. I don't think Smith was committed to coming in. I think Smith was trying to follow whatever Stabnow and West did. Realized they were coming in. Right there's the commitment line, so you're definitely seeing too much speed. And there's the contact between him and Stabnow. Smith, I think, said, oh, hey, I need to come down pit road because West and Stabnow are coming. I think he was committed to whatever they did. Wasn't aware they were coming. Threw it to the left at the last second and just got away from him.
Samuel, your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, for Kevin Smith, he kind of forgot what track we were at for a second. Once he hit the grass, went wild, and, you know, we'll like the dirt once we were in Knoxville, but here at Pocono, you kind of want to avoid the green areas.
Yeah, for sure. And in doing so, Smith falls all the way back to 23rd. The last truck on the racetrack, as we do have a truck out. Here comes Sean Brightsman. He's had a pretty good run at things here in the last couple of weeks with wins in the series, especially on the road courses. He also won Dover, and he won the race at, oh my goodness, here we go, Laguna Seca, also at WeatherTech Raceway. He now He's on the pit lane. Here comes Sean Brightsman giving up a top 5 in the pits in 46, Greg.
Bryson, remember, the all-time winningest driver in Northwest Racing Series competition, 63 victories entering tonight. And at one point had 3 straight Cup wins before coming up a little bit short last week after a pit road penalty. Now we see Ryan Bloom searching for his first truck win in that number 25. I believe he may be one of the last trucks left to come down pit road. By my count, 3 have yet to come down. Bloom, Ritters, and Hutchinson are the 3 trucks that have yet to take a pit stop yet. And I think we're seeing one of them now as here comes Ryan Bloom in the number 25. He's going to back it down after leading the lap. All eyes turn to Clifford in the number 23. We'll see if he brings the Budweiser entry down pit road this time. But look at the gap that had been built up between Bloom and Ritters, Wesley. He's down pit road. There's Clifford, the big red buck.
And here comes Toby Ritters. Yep, Budweiser and the Clifford number 23 Chevrolet comes onto the pit lane. Oh, right now, this is going to cycle back to Scott Hutchinson becoming now the leader. Dan West Jr. will cycle back around to the leader when the 91 comes in. But there for all, the Farmall tractor, number 91. Take you for a ride on my big red tractor instead of green. And right now, Samuel, it's Hutchinson leading a couple of laps here in the Northwest iRacing Truck Series at Pocono.
Yeah, the 91 wanted to lead at least 1 lap, but he's going to have to relinquish the lead. It's Dan West Jr. going to be taking the spot. And what's crazy is with all the pit roads that happened, Scott never even got to lead a lap. The 91 has to come into pit road. And also while we're looking up front, it looks like that of Carl Burke has officially parked it for the day.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the analogy taking away your high school sweetheart on prom night because a lot of people were like, what did you do that for? But take it away like candy from a baby. Yes, Hutchinson didn't even get a chance to lead as Dan West Jr. ran him down 55 back out in front for the Northwest Truck Series at Pocono. He goes to the lead for the 2nd time tonight. O'Hare, though, right there behind him. Well, not right there behind him. That's hashtag fake news. 3.5 seconds back, though, is Harry in 2nd. 3.5 seconds is Tyler King in 3rd. Almost 5 seconds is Dennis Moore. 6 seconds is Chris White.
Hey.
As that's your top 5 going off into turn 2,
Greg.
Hey,
Samuel, look at 2nd and 3rd right now. Does that look familiar at all right now? O'Hare and King nose to tail?
Yeah, I was looking at both that of 2nd and 3rd, Stephen O'Hare, Tyler King, doing exactly what they did on Monday, drafting, trying to help each other save fuel. And then also I was looking back at that for 6th place. We've got that of Jeff Stabnow and Devin West doing a pretty similar thing, drafting with one another. So starting to see the aspect, teammates trying to help one another save fuel so they can make a shorter stop once they come into pit road for their final stop.
Greg, I love your analogy of Clifford the Big Red Dodge. They need to bring Dodge back to iRacing, and he could be a Dodge truck. What do you think?
I'm all for it. We need Dodge back in the sport anyway, and that would just put it over the top for me. Hey, I told the story last time I was with you, Wesley, when we were at the Cup Series at Laguna Seca. Actually, it was the Truck Series. I told that story of the truck we have at Hermiston Raceway, the home of our proud sponsor, Tom Denchel Auto Group, by the way, Hermiston, Oregon.
Yes.
It's located right down the street from the racetrack, I found out, like maybe half a block from the racetrack. But I told you, we have that bomber class, and it has a guy with a straight-up red Dodge Ram that I nicknamed Clifford the Big Red Dodge. I want to see it on iRacing. Bring Dodge back to iRacing. Put Toby Ritters in the Dodge. There you go.
Yeah, that's not hashtag not fake news right there. We definitely need to have that back. So you've got Dan West Jr., Stephen O'Hare, Tyler King, Dennis Moore, Chris White, Stabnow, West, and Brightsman. The way they are on lap 35. Full field rundown. There's your top 8 at Pocono.
As temporary him chimes in with a comment. DJ Tidrick in the number 72 up to 9th. Ryan Bloom, we talked about him a moment ago in 10th. Robert Gamble in the number 54 sits in the 11th spot. Top 12 right now is Paul Newton, winner 2 weeks ago with the Catman Vining, Paulison, Wakefield, Ottenbacher, your top 16.
17, they got that of Toby Ritter as Clifford continues to run. He's all by himself in the 23. Then you got Frank Harris in 18th. But Troy Daggett in 19th. 51 has gained up a couple of positions with some poor unfortunes for Aaron Cooper in 20th position. And then you got that of Scott Hutchinson, who tried to stay out as long as possible, backfired for the 91, back to 21st position. And Kevin Smith, the only driver, 1 lap down for the 00 after his misfortunes of coming into pit road, and he misclicked on his fast repair. So the 00 heavily damaged, so he's not even gaining time on the drivers around him.
And by the way, Carl Burke and James Thurston are the 2 trucks, 35 or 53 and 2, that are out of the race as we speak right now. There is Kevin Smith, the Hermiston, Washington entry that we were just talking to you about. Tom Denchel Automotive Group, the 00 fast qualifier. He now sits comfortably on the racetrack outside the top 10. Well, actually 1 lap down. If the caution was to come out, if there was to be a caution, he would get the free pass, if you would. But right now, we're working 36 laps since the drop of the green flag. Dan West Jr., O'Hare. Again, there is Tyler King. There is Dennis Moore trying to get around O'Hare. This battle goes on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th as they go back into the corner off of turn number 2.
And what else do you notice about this? These are all teammates for
Yes.
Beaver State Racing. O'Hare, King, and Moore. You're on board with Moore, who finished 2nd. These guys finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on Monday night. Not in this particular order. It was Moore coming out on top over O'Hare and Tyler King who had that drag race. Remember, O'Hare and King both led laps. Dennis Moore's been so close to that first win. And as you see, they're trying to get synced up there in the draft to see if they can reel in Dan West Jr. But Sam, I'm going to ask you this one here on this one. 2 trucks drafting Pocono, it'll work. Do you think 3 will work to try to catch up to West Jr.?
I think the big factor is got to wonder for that of for Dennis Moore. He's got to figure out where he wants to place himself. He used the fast repair, so he doesn't have that right side damage anymore for that of the 44s. They're trying to get by Kevin Smith currently, and I think for 3 drivers, it could be a little bit too much speed that they're carrying. That could cause these cars to tighten up on the center of the corners, lose time, use too much wear. It actually could be helping out the 55 of Dan West Jr. to continue to gap the rest of the 2 drivers out here.
Well, one thing for certain, you won't have any trouble spotting these Beavers. They're right there with each other in 3rd, 4th, and 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. O'Hare, King, and Moore with Beaver State Racing as they're zigging and zagging, slicing and dicing. Lap truck Kevin Smith losing ground on this 3-truck Beaver State Racing battle. And while that goes on, Dan West Jr. is opening up to 4 seconds now. There's Jeff Stabnow, Devin West, a couple of other LSRTV trucks behind him. Also Brightsman. They're 5th, 6th, and 7th down the straightaway. As the cross flags come out at Pocono, we're halfway home here in round 14 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series.
So 2 sets of teammates right now, 3 deep, with the 4th member of that team leading the way. Talking, of course, about that group in 5th, 6th, and 7th. Next Gen Racing and West Family Racing kind of have that little working relationship. Devin West just blinked out. Devin West just blinked out, guys.
He can blink and nod, visiting the 5 family, possibly if that goes on. If it happens to the 5 of Devin West, it might happen to Daddy West as well, the leader in 55. He blinky, blinky, blinky. There he goes. He's back again. But hold on, it's now O'Hare and King are trying to slowly but surely reel in the 55. Robert, let's zoom in on the leader, because if Devin West is having internet issues, the leader might be also. And one thing we've noticed, Samuel, the interval has really cut back the deficit now to 3 seconds.
Yeah, a little bit of concern for that of the West family, because they're both that of Dan West Jr. and Devin West in the same house. So when one person has internet issues, they both do. And whenever the internet issues come arise, it seems like it's Dan West Jr. that's the one that kind of decides to back away and try to help the internet issue and try to fix it. And you're seeing that he's losing ground. Was up to almost 4 seconds. It's now down to 3 seconds even between the 55 and the 41. And it looks like that of Breisman just cannot handle it anymore. A switch up between the 46 and the 5, back for 6th place.
And while that goes on, we still got to check and see what's going on with Dan West Jr. He is still the leader, but the interval is closing gap on O'Hare quicker and quicker. But Devin West losing a lot more ground than Daddy West. He still stays on it. P1 is the second half in Pocono underway, Greg, in turn 1.
You can see it there at the bottom right, that battle for first graphic. Dan West Jr. is blinked in and out of that. That's all you need to know right there. That tells you that he's definitely blinking. It's been pretty stable for about the last half lap now. But that is going to be huge because, yeah,
that's the leader.
In that same area.
That's the leader in front of the 41 of Stephen O'Hare. And the interval was almost 5 seconds, now cut it to 2.8. And he now has him in his view mirror, if you will. The front view visor is showing the 55 rear deck lid of his truck inside as they work their way back in to turn number 3 down the straightaway. Sean Brightsman now falling back to 5th as Stab now cleared him for that spot. Well, that goes on. They'll stay down the straightaway. And this goes on again between Stab now and Brightsman for that spot on the back off of the front stretch.
Battle between teammates here. Brightsman and Stab now. Look at Brightsman right up on the back bumper of Stab now. What will he do in the turn number 1? Down into this braking zone and sails it off into the corner. Stab now able to open it up a little bit.
Watching Samuel this battle, a little slip there by Stab now as he entered off the exit of the corner. That side draft will allow Sean Brightsman to reel him in to try to get back in the top 5. And they are still, by the way, 8 seconds back to the leader. And Stephen O'Hare closing in under 2 seconds now on Dan West Jr. for the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at right now. It just seems like the teammates recognizing, hey, let's work together instead of trying to stay side by side. If drivers are side by side, you're losing ground on the drivers in front of you and giving an opportunities for the guys behind you as well to try to close up on the gap. And you're also seeing it, the 5 blinking again, the West family household probably making some noise in the house saying, get off the internet, let us not blink anymore. As up front, you're seeing the Beaver State boys still 2nd through 4th. They're working together, and now it was at 4 seconds at one point. It's now 2.5 seconds, the difference between 1st and 2nd.
He said, Nathaniel, go out there and pull that antenna to the other right. I'm losing signal. We got to get the satellite back up there working again. Dan West Jr. is leading the way. The interval closing 2.5 seconds. Now starting the King ground is Stephen O'Hare, but right there behind him is his teammate Tyler King. And the Dennis Moore machine, the Beaver clan, the Beaver State Racing family, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Stab now after his bad luck with Kevin Smith. Greg, he's in the top 5 as we work lap 44 here at Pocono.
Dan West Jr. going to make a new rule in the West household. No Netflix during race time, because if he falls out of this race with connection issues, that's going to leave it to Beaver up there with O'Hare, King, and Moore. 1, 2, 3, Stab now, and Brightsman in their battle. Brightsman's gotten around Stab now, moved Brightsman into the top 5, but there you see the Beaver State Racing trio. There's the battle for 5th between Brightsman and Stab now. Devin West lurking back there as well, no doubt screaming at the internet, trying to keep it stable. There it goes again, beginning to blink out. It's, man, that's a tough call whether or not it's stabling out there, because it was even worse. Nope, there it goes once again. That's getting real scary for these guys.
And all the while, if this happens to obviously Devin West, we know it's also happening to Dan West Jr., the leader. We got to keep an eye on that 55. And we got to see how the interval is closing. There you see him dropping off like a fly down the bottom of the scoring pylon. Then he pops back up again as we see Ryan Bloom from the 25. Now we go to the 55 because Stephen O'Hare is taking advantage of this opportunity. O'Hare, King, Moore, they have paid their internet bill. They've got strong signal. And West now still having that blinking issue. Netcode is the popular word we use. And Greg Rentz, that's exactly what Father West, Son West, the West family in positions 1 and 7 are enduring right now. But they're still holding on. And it's still Dan West Jr. leading as we hit lap 45.
So just past halfway, but you saw the connection issues getting real interesting there for a moment. And again, it's down. They've cut that gap in half, have the Beaver State boys. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now, just trying to chip away, chip, and pit stops are going to be coming up here before too long as well, guys.
Yeah, another cycle of green flag pit stop. Samuel, what are you thinking? You think O'Hare's going to reel in it was going to reel in Samuel Dyer. Going to reel in Dan West Jr. like bait on a pulse popper fishing lure hook?
Oh, I think they're going to catch them for sure, as these drivers still have another about 10 laps until they're thinking about making their next and final pit stop of the night. But if they were trying to run me down, they would have already caught me. I am terrible at Pocono. I probably would have already been a lap or two down by now. But, you know, looking at some of these other drivers, you've got Beaver State doing a great job moving forward. And then in the middle of that Beaver State crew, you've got Tyler King, started in 17th, up to 3rd. I mean, it has been a great march for that 21 team that did so well during the Cup race on Monday night, carrying that momentum over. Another driver that's been doing a great job moving up in the field, that's Sean Bridesman, who came up from 14th up to 5th. Some of these drivers that really have been trying to make their surge, even with the poor qualifying, they're showing they got some race pace.
And I don't want to jinx anything as we're just after halfway, but approaching lap 50, Friday night, ARCA Northwest iRacing Series, caution free. Monday night, while I was on vacation, Samuel and Greg were on the call, the Northwest iRacing Cup Series here at Pocono. That race went caution-free. Lake Peterson picking up his 5th win on the season in the Carnivore 09. And right now, as we're approaching lap 50, Greg, so far, caution-free. Props to the Northwest, the best in the business on iRacing, or definitely some of the best. No yellow flags, trying to keep it that way for 3 consecutive events at Pocono.
In the second half of this one, see Stab Now and West settling things down.
I'm liking that wrap job on Stab Now. Very,
I really
very
do.
patriotic.
That's a nice look. I wonder if he's going to keep that a little bit there after the 4th of July.
Maybe the silver colors is just not for him. Maybe he needs to go back to, you know.
Yes. Yes, I would agree. Stick with the new scheme. Try something different. The luck hasn't been there to get a win just yet in the other scheme.
Yes.
Sticks with the stars and stripes. You got a shot.
I would say that. He had a little bad luck earlier when the sequence of pit stops were going on the first go-around with the pole qualifier, Kevin Smith and his Ford hitting him on pit lane and causing damage. But you see, it's all repaired now as he had to take that fast repair right before halfway. And West is still leading, but there is Stab Now and Devin West battling there for 6th and 7th. As here comes, I believe, was that, it looked like they were coming onto the pit lane.
There is a car, 81 in 17th place right now. Paul Newton, our truck winner from Sebring. He blew his engine entering turn number 1.
Can we see a caution flag?
I don't think so. He's off the track limits. He's now on the apron. It doesn't look like that, but the 81 is... Oh, no, caution will wait because of it.
It will bring out a caution. Wow. There is the yellow flag. So much for the 3-race caution-free jinx. Oh, well, I think we needed a yellow flag. And there's the reason why. Winner last week. My son's pick. I couldn't believe he did it, but he pulled it off. Picked Paul Newton to win, and Paul Newton... Oh, Greg, this is kind of like a road course a little bit. I mean, it's not an oval, it's triangle.
It's about the closest left-hander to a road course.
Right. Anyhow, we're under our first caution. Yellow flag for the first caution here. And obviously, Dan West Jr. going to run outside real quickly, climb the roof, move the antenna, find a way to get better reception. And and there is going to be pit stops as well. Sorry that I'm trying not to laugh. Him Jr. is talking to me. Oh. Samuel, do you think this could be the money stop, buddy, with 30 laps to go?
I think it can be. If this race goes green to the end, this could be the money stop for these drivers. They can stretch it out to 30 laps or more. It's the question of, can you save enough fuel and also at the same time be aggressive enough to be up front? Looking at that of Dan West Jr., as long as his internet holds up, he should be able to stretch it all the way.
The longest fuel run being told by our producers was about 32 laps. Greg Wrench, what do you think?
That falls right in, right about where we need to be. I think if this thing goes green the rest of the way, this is the money stop. Here we go.
Here they come, the cavalry in their kaleidoscope of colors, all on the pit lane. Hey, by the way, caution coming out for Kevin Smith. Guess what that does? It gives him the free pass. He is back on the lead lap in the 00. Cavalry onto the pit lane. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel. Pit stops, here they come. Tyler King in his pit stall first, Samuel Dyer.
Clean pit stop for that of the 21, really smooth into his box, and that's the focus for a lot of these drivers. Is Devin West overshoots his pit box, gonna have to back up for the 5. That's costly. That could be over 2 positions or more for the 5 machine, which we've seen. It's difficult trying to get those positions back.
Dan West Jr. race off pit road. He's in first, he's out first, and he even fixed his internet cable. O'Hare is second, Moore third. Brightsman King, the top 5. We'll take a quick break. More from Pocono when we return with under 30 to go with the Northwest iRacing Truck Series on LSRTV, Sierra Sports, and also simulcast tonight on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Every customer, every single time needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Pace car getting ready to drop onto the lane, ready to make the field for the restart for the first time in the Geico restart zone. Back in the air with now 27 laps to go at Pocono. Dan West Jr. will get along. Will he hold him off? He's had internet issues along the way as well. He'll lead him at full speed with more. O'Hare, King, Beaver Boys after him in turn 2.
Oh no, Chris White goes around, and now they're wrecking coming out of turn number 1.
And who's that in the air?
He's got one upside down, flying through the air.
Oh, Brian Bloom's
flying
involved.
through the air. Jensen's involved in 91. Brian Bloom's involved in 25. And like a multi-car accident like Daytona or Talladega, we just had calamity Samuel off turn 2 here at Pocono.
And
or turn 1.
immediately after frustration, James Vining has parked it for the day after going flipping. Bloom's gone in with the toe as well for Frank Harris, as
Here's
here
the
is
replay.
the replay.
The replay, by the way, on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, also on LSRTV, presented by Polds Poppers, Fishing Lures, and Samuel, you saw it break loose with Chris White first getting in contact with Ryan Bloom, and then trucks go flying through the air at all 9 lives, and he just lost them at Pocono.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a parking lot of drivers that were trying to go low, and it's usually a safe place to go, but there goes Vining just flying through the air. And just so many drivers are already in the back, where we had seen on the first start of the race where it was just a cluster of cars. They were clustered up, and when a big one happened, it took out practically all of them.
Greg Rance, cautions breed cautions scenario of that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're seeing right here. I think we're seeing cautions breeding cautions. It was caution free for the first almost 50 laps of this race. Now we've seen 2 in a matter of just a couple of laps, and some guys who were dark horses for the win caught up in this as well. Bloom having a good run. White was having a good run. Devin West was caught up in that. And there you see the red number 5. Just a little bit of damage. He was involved in the very start of that. Tough break for some of these guys, but man, he's going to shake things up here in the middle of the pack as guys try to make their way back up there.
Yeah, the field coming by the start-finish line. Some trucks on the pit lane. Those that had damage, like Frank Harris, like Hutchinson in the 91. Bloom, obviously. Those trucks coming in for work. And the question is, who needed a fast repair? Who had already used their fast repair from the first half of the race, Samuel? And they're kind of SOL at the end of this race now.
Yeah, I mean, on this last, before this caution, on our first green flag pit stop, a lot of the drivers actually used the fast repair thinking the race was going to go green all the way through. And because of using a fast repair so early on after brushing the wall in the first 30 laps, it's now put a lot of drivers in the spots where they have to come in, take manual repairs, such that of Paulison, that of Hutchinson's came in with a tow with a 91, extremely damaged, to go multi laps down. Also, Ryan Bloom, he's still getting repairs done. Just coming out of pit road is going to be Paulison. But man, this is just taking practically from 15th on back. All those drivers caught up in this thing. And the driver that luckily snuck through because he showed up to the field late, that's Paul Newton, who was able to get that 81 repaired. Only 1 lap down, but the 81, he's still looking clean because after coming to a complete stop, snuck his way through that caution.
25 laps to go here when they cross the start-finish line. Second caution flag of the race. First one involving Paul Newton with engine problems, stalling just after turn 2, entering turn 3 here at Pocono. And then on the restart, they got all scattered, smothered, and covered with a virtual metal omelet mayhem of destruction, and some big names involved like James Vining, Devin West with problems, Ryan Bloom involved, Hutchinson, Frank Harris. Newton might have got a piece of it, and many, many more in the back of the pack. They're on the pit lane, some losing a lap or more, include Newton, Harris, Bloom, several laps down. Hutchinson now back 2 laps down. As Greg, they are still working on getting repairs done. We got 1 to go on the pace car.
So a lot of drivers still trying to take that or get that damage repaired. The thing about this racetrack, though, these guys may have had to take that fast repair because they caught the wall off of a corner, and it just disrupted the aero of the truck. Now with 25 laps to go, they're having to take that manual damage repair.
25 laps to go here at Pocono. Coverage again of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, round 14 from Pocono Raceway, presented by Tom Ditchell Automotive Group. Thank you again to Robert Moyer Jr., Freaky Fast, testing this event in the absence of our regular producer, Rocket Media, Charles Wooten with LSRTV. We are on CRN Sport. We're having fun. And guys, the fog has lifted. We can finally see clearly now. The fog is gone. The sun is out. Yes, it is. The sun is out. I can't compete with that.
Absolutely not. And with the sun coming out, it has gone up a degree on the ambient temperature, up to 72 Fahrenheit, and the track temp also has gone up. It was at 103 last time we touched on it. It's now up to 107.
My goodness, that sounds like the temperatures at our colleague Greg Rentz's house right now. 103.
Yeah, it's pretty toasty.
103. At 8 o'clock at night, might I add, or 9 o'clock.
We're down below triple digits now. We dipped below triple digits finally here at 10 o'clock.
Oh, all right. We'll go.
Devin West is off the pace, guys. He's falling to the back.
Oh, wow. Green flag goes back air, though. 24 laps to go. Fielded speed as they roar. But Zone Paulison looked like he had a problem on the slip when he got up to speed. Meanwhile, here we go. Dan West Jr. holding off the Beaver State boys. There's contact. Moore got right to King, or right to O'Hare, and now Brightsman got pushed out of line out of turn 1.
That was contact with Devin West in the 5. That shuffled Brightsman in the back. Now he's got damage. I was already a little bit concerned about the front end of West. That's going to make it even worse.
Yeah, you could slightly see a little bit of damage on that back right spoiler, but up front, got to give credit to that of Jeff Stabnow. Got absolutely destroyed from that of Kevin Smith coming into pit road under green flag. Pit stops. He's now up to 3rd with a shot to get by that of O'Hare.
West brings them back across start finish. You're riding on board now with Stabnow. He's in 3rd. He has got in front of him Stephen O'Hare for the bridesmaid spot. The leader in front of him. They're on the camera view on the bottom of the racetrack there. Looking from the back door of O'Hare. Stabnow, what a run for him. Looking for 2nd out of turn 2.
Trying to size him up. That damage on the back of the 41 might come into play here. And remember, Wesley, we've seen these guys battle it out. These two have a bit of a history. Talking about O'Hare and Stabnow. See what happens this time. It's been pretty simple between them this year, but around this time last year, things were getting pretty spicy between them.
They were not friends. You would definitely not to see them at an IHOP or a Waffle House for a late night supper. Virtual either. I mean, they wouldn't even share a virtual bagel with one another. Here they come across the line. 22 to go. O'Hare, Stabnow. Look at King holding off now. Tidrick for that spot. That's your top 5 as they go to turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, BJ Tidrick, what a charge for himself. Didn't put down a qualifying lap time. He's up 17 positions, up to 5th. But bad news as, oh no, Dennis Moore gets out of shape for the 44. But bad news for drivers in the back. Toby Ritter, about 2 laps ago, had to come down into pit road to get a black flag served. Locked up the brakes, hit the wall. He had already used his fast repair. The 23 Clifford, he has parked it for the day.
Clifford becomes Scooby-Doo. Where are you? He's out of the race at Pocono. The race roars on with 22 to go. West out in front. O'Hare 2nd. Stabnow. King and Tidrick top 5 off the corner.
I think Judd Wakefield at 50 just may have scraped the wall just a little bit there off that last corner. See him right there in the vape hub entry. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. Was that Kevin Smith? Yes, it was. Kevin Smith breaking loose. But I believe that the 50 may have just tapped the wall.
And how about this, guys? Kevin Smith, the pole truck now back into the top 10, only 3 seconds back to the leader. He's holding off the likes of Moore and company. And behind him, the 00 is he making his ascent to the front with 20 to go at Pocono. About to be 3/4 of the way through.
I mean, Kevin Smith, he has been trying to make a recovery here. He was 1 lap down after the contact that he made with Stabnow. That left him to be the only car 1 lap down under green flag situations. But Judd Wakefield hard into the wall again for the 50, which gives a position to the 00. Kevin Smith up to 9th.
Certainly did. Holy cow, got a hold on. Stay back in it. Kevin Smith, Wakefield now in that battle. Move him up now to 10th spot. Wakefield will. Smith to 9th. West to the 8th position. That's Devin West. And while that goes on, Dan West Jr. still out in front. They got to wonder when the patience level is going to go into definitely impatient mode. You got to go now. 20 to go here at Pocono. Air Stabnow top 3 as they walk into turn 2.
That 50 truck is upset, guys. I've been watching him the last couple of laps. He is getting close to the wall. He's hit the wall a couple times. A lot of damage now on the number 50 of Wakefield. You see the right side right there, very, very scuffed up, and he's kept it off the wall that time, but again, slipping and sliding. The 50 truck is not happy right now.
Not at all. I mean, the got to think for Jet Wakefield, the more and more he hits the wall, the more it's going to tighten up that truck, and he is already trying to cook those rear tires. It is just, he's going to be struggling for these final 19 laps here. It's only going to get worse, and you got to cross your fingers the 50 can make it to the end.
Under 20 laps to go here at Pocono. And right now, who is jumping out of line? Who is your friend? Who is the one that's in the crosshairs, ready to pounce like a coiled cobra and take your spot away? As there's Jeff Stabnow. Greg, could we see Stabnow go to victory lane? What a great spot he's in right now. The 24 truck, even if he ain't had a lot of laps, he goes after O'Hare for second on the inside into.
Taking a peek to the bottom. He may have him here off of this corner. Coming off of turn 3. Ooh, he's breaking loose. On board with O'Hare in the 41. He fights back on the outside. He's got help from his teammate. And Tyler King might be able to make the pass on Stabnow here going off into turn 1.
Driver left is going to be Stabnow. We have a shot for the bridesmaid spot on 41. O'Hare on driver right. Backed it off of turn 3. But he won't go away. Battles back to the inside. He'll clear past the machine. And he gets up under his fuel cell. That is up under the trunk low. All that junk and all that trunk. And Stabnow about lifted him up off the back straightaway.
Just a little bit of a tap. Just got Stabnow just brushing the wall. But the 24, he's got to keep on pushing. The goal is to keep those Beaver State boys split up. But here comes Tyler King. He's got the drafting help from that O'Hare. And here comes the 21. He's looking quick. But he needs to confirm this pass now coming down turn 3.
Guys, do you think that Snow's got a handling issue on his truck? Greg, what do you think, bud?
Maybe just a little bit. Remember, he said he didn't get a lot of practice in, which meant he got no long run practice. Yeah, we've been on a much longer run, but he might not be exactly aware of what that truck's going to do just yet, especially after having to take a fast repair. Yeah, the truck's back to brand new, but he may not be able to tell exactly what that truck can do yet on a long run.
West, O'Hare, Stabnow, in Brightsman, top 5. Tidrick, Audenbach, the top 8 of the full field rundown with 17 to go at Pocono.
Oh, Devin West, the 5 in 9th place. Hard in the outside wall through the tunnel turn. He got a little bit of help. It looked from...
That's not good.
He got loose. I don't know if there was any touching from himself in the 00, but hard contact for the 5.
And that is a lot of damage. Look, you can tell
caution.
Yeah, you can tell from here the right side of that truck is crumpled, and a disastrous second half of the race for Devin West will continue. There's the look at the damage. He's coming down pit road.
He has pancake right side of truck number 5 for sure. No make. She's on the pit lane as well. He says, I'm out. Have at it, boys. He is done. West, his daddy, out in front. O'Hare, Stabnow, King, right there with each other. That's the family of the Beaver State Racing clan. The machine of Moore, who is now fallen back. It's now 2 battling the LSRTV trucks in 1st, 3rd, and 5th. Well, that goes on. 15 to go at Pocono this time by.
I went back, rewatched that incident, and there was contact made as, oh boy, that wall is going to be the scariest part so far for these front 5. But Kevin Smith did make contact with the 5. That's what took out Devin West. And now with Devin West out of this race, he could be someone to watch out and make sure that internet's working to make sure his dad gets this win.
I was just getting ready to say the same thing.
And look at Stabnow coming after O'Hare. He might have Brightsman as a wingman. And while that goes on, Greg, he's after O'Hare for a sec. They go off into turn 2.
He is trying with anything. He's got 15 laps to go, and this is all going on behind Dan West Jr., but they're not letting that 55 Chevy get away.
West, O'Hare, Stabnow, King, and Brightsman, your top 5. There they are, right there. Tighter than a lid on a pickle jar, with the exception of West just pulling away by just a smidge. Less than a second between 1st to 5th. Everyone else right there nestled with him. One wrong slip, Someone will capitalize. We're live on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. LSRTV, CRN Sports, ready to put a wrap on round 14 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, presented by Tom Dinchell Automotive Group, with 14 to go at Pocono. And there they are, right there, jumping out of line. Tyler King looking for third, now second on Stab now as he goes after him into turn 2.
That 24 is breaking really loose, guys. Here comes King, and Brightman's going to follow.
You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder, guys, how loose Jeff Stabnow's truck really is. But whatever the case, he is fighting that truck to the bitter end as best as he can. He falls back to fourth, though, Samuel off turn 3.
Yeah, and right now, the best thing for Stabnow is that he's got his teammate. He's got Bridesman right behind him, giving him some draft help. And what O'Hare's doing, he's trying to drop down, give some help, and help be a tow for that of King. But O'Hare's too far back. The bump drafting being utilized here for that of the 24 and the 46.
Greg, watching Stabnow, still watching him fight that truck. You can definitely see how hard it is for him to fight off the corner for sure.
Just trying to fight. Hold on to that spot. Here comes Brightman, though, on the back bumper of King. What will they do here in the turn number 2? The tunnel turn. They say hello. And meanwhile, O'Hare beginning to pull away from Stabnow and close in on West. O'Hare won 3 races in this truck series last year. Still looking for win number 1 this year. Not letting West get away. As a matter of fact, he was beginning to reel him in just a little bit.
And you know what? As we see this now, Hutchinson with a problem. Stabnow going way down to the bottom of the apron of the racetrack. 12 laps to go. Clearing by the lap machine on the outside lane of the red machine of Hutchinson. While that goes on, King reels him in. So does Brightsman. Like bait on a hook, they go to turn 1. They got to try to reel in now. The leader, the big fish, is Dan West Jr. 12 to go at Pocono as they're off the 2.
I'm trying to figure out who of these 4 drivers could possibly try to run down that of Dan West Jr. And Stephen O'Hare's looking like the best candidate right now. He's less than 2/10 on the back bumper of the 55, with the 3 drivers behind him, Stabnow, King, Bridesman. There is damage for almost all of the drivers, except for that of Dan West Jr., who's been looking clean all race. I mean, you got a little bit of back rear end damage for O'Hare. You've got some slight right side scrapes for the 24. The 21, also some scrapes on the right side. And then for that of Brightsman, he's got his rear quarter panel jacked up a little bit on the right side. So damage could be a factor on why these guys can't make the pass. But here comes O'Hare for the lead.
West has a lot of damage on the right side of that 55 truck. I just noticed it. O'Hare's got some as well, but I think it's a little bit worse on the 55.
And here's something to think about, guys, as we come to 10 to go this time by. Now, ill handling truck and all will not go away. It's like an ex-girlfriend you're trying to break up with that will continually contact you. He will not front pack of trucks alone. He has reeled them back in. Whatever issues he's got as he bounces off the wall, but he'll still stay in position as Tyler King had a dive to the inside of the racetrack to 10 to go this time by.
King and Brightsman got him there. That was too hard of a shot to be able to hold on. King and Brightsman able to get by.
Just got a little bit too giddy, these guys did. Going through the tunnel turn, they saw that they were having that closing rate and just too much speed off the exit, lost the grip, and into the wall. Was that a Stabnow? Battle for the lead. Here comes O'Hare on the inside.
10 laps to go. Here comes O'Hare back to the inside. West Jr. on the outside. He'll throw the block. O'Hare to the inside. West to the outside. They'll clear turn 1. Door to door. Give O'Hare the lead to the bottom of the racetrack as they go to turn 2. Greg Rance.
Fighting back on the outside, though, is Dan West Jr. in the 55. Drag race into the tunnel turn. O'Hare will try to clear. He will! Coming down, single-digit laps to go. West looks for the crossover. But here comes Tyler King in the 21. 3-truck breakaway now as Brightsman's losing touch just a little bit. As O'Hare into turn number 3. 9 laps to go. Single digits left, and O'Hare is going to lead the way.
All the while, here comes O'Hare down to the inside. Dan West Jr. falling back. Got to try to run him back down. It's West, it's King, it's Brightsman, it's Stabnow right there ready to go as well in 5th. But for the moment, they were 2 by 2 like Noah leading the animals to the arc here to the mountains of Pocono. While that goes on, O'Hare will now up to the outside lane, throws the block on Dan West Jr. King is there, Brightsman there, someone make a move, 9 to go at Pocono.
Going into the tunnel turn, it's going to be that of Dan West Jr. He got the draft and the momentum going through and on the exit. Got to make sure you don't hit that outside wall as the 55 is close. They all have to scatter and tail whipping it off the exit. But O'Hare, here comes the crossover move into 3.
And that crossover move will work now to the outside lane. Here comes now Dan West Jr. outside, but opens up now to Stephen O'Hare. O'Hare will close in. He almost hit the concrete off turn 3. Now the right there and weasel their way as one truck becomes 4, but in unison they look like 1. 8 to go as Dan West Jr. holds off a hornet's nest after him. Single file, the snake roars into turn 1 at Pocono, Greg.
A Chevy, 2 Fords and a Toyota battling for the win here at Pocono. 8 laps to go. Stab now losing touch in the 5th position, but it's a long way back to BJ Titterick. And here we go, battle for 3rd, breaking out. Brightsman trying his move now. He's to the inside of King.
Up the corner out of turn 2. Here they come, back up the straightaway. Into that second turn. Those 3 straightaways mimic the great tracks of racing like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Milwaukee Mile, and the Trenton International Raceway now dormant. Coming to the line, 7 laps to go. Dan West Jr. leads. O'Hare, King, and Brightsman. Stab has now fell back to almost 3 seconds. Whatever issues he had, for as long as he can, is still a good solid top 5. The battle, though, was for the win, and Dan West Jr. holding off all comers at turn 1, Samuel.
Yeah, O'Hare had one great opportunity 2 laps ago, but West gets high, close to the wall. He has to back out just slightly, and it's giving them momentum to O'Hare. The 41 is coming with a head of steam, but I don't think he's close enough to really utilize it into the tunnel turns. He'll have to back out, try to set up for next lap. Still plenty of time, 7 laps to go. It's more patience. Make the car in front of you make the mistake, and O'Hare, he's got a good shot as long as he keeps this close, because his teammate King can give him a great run with the draft.
Greg, what are you thinking? You think the guys behind Dan West Jr. kind of backing down, ready to make that one last charge before the checkered flag?
Certainly what it looks like to me. It looks like O'Hare may be cooling his tires off. Get another run at West. You see right here, getting back into the slipstream of the 55. He knows he can get by him. He's done it once already. Going to try it again here. 6 laps to go.
Well, Dan West Jr. stays up on the outside lane, the West Racing entry. Also part of Team LSRTV. Still staying in the top spot for Beaver State Racing. Stephen O'Hare, he has not won a race this year. 3 wins last year, and I believe one of those wins came here at Pocono. I know Chris White won a Cup Series event here in the Cup car last year as well, but right now he has fell all the way back to 18th position. We're coming to 5 laps to go, Greg. This time by Samuel. A handful shown to the field. An open hand to the field. Someone has got to make a run on Dan West Jr., but for right now, he is showing all his momentum in the double nickel as they pull the way back to turn 1.
Dan West Jr. recognizing that the speed is coming from the Beaver State guys as he is now starting to S his way and snake his way through the straightaways, trying to break the draft so the 41 doesn't get that slipstream or an advantage, but it's all about how you exit these corners right now. Here comes O'Hare. He's trying to utilize the draft, didn't get his best launch out of turn 1. He's going to have to set up coming out of the tunnel turn.
Guys, what if you're Tyler King in the 21? What are you thinking? Do you want to try to help your teammate get by Dan West Jr. in the 55 and try to get a win for Beaver State Racing, or do you want that win for yourself? You're Tyler King. You've never won a race in the Northwest Racing Series. How bad does he want it right now? Does he want to try and be a good teammate, or does he want this win for himself?
And that's a good scenario there as you're talking about. We always use it in a lot of the world of racing like Daytona or Talladega. 2.5 miles. This track, even though it's triangle, it is like a super speedway, and here you go. That's Stephen O'Hare coming after Dan West Jr. Tyler King licking his chops. He'll pounce to the inside. It's 2 against 1 off of turn number 1, and West Jr. got a little wiggle and a giggle and a jiggle and a bobble, and this allows now Beaver State to reel him in, going with 4 to go.
He kept it off the ball just barely, but he had to get out of the throttle, which allows O'Hare to stick there on the bottom.
That tight sensation, it's just going to continue to build up for that of Dan West Jr. as he's just running a groove higher than almost in every corner. He's being pressured to run higher. He's got to be careful. He's got to release and let off the throttle, which is giving the opening now to O'Hare. Here comes King as well. They're going to try to utilize the draft on the front stretch.
And to the line, 3 to go, and now they were 3. Ink and blink and nod earlier for Dan West Jr. is now his captain. King to the outside. O'Hare, King, Dan West Jr. up in the outside lane. Here they go. They're going to try to go 3 wide, and possibly if King can open the door. He can't. West slips up on the outside lane. He's up in the rough stuff, if you will, and that allows still him to hold on to the lead. Whatever he's doing dirt tracking, and he's making it work now. Greg with 3 to go. He's in the corner.
I thought he was too high up there to be able to make that work, but he gunned it off corner exit of turn number 1. There's another break loose. He clears him, but he ain't broke loose again. But O'Hare had to check up, and here comes King pushing O'Hare on the bumper. Down into turn number 3, coming to 2 laps to go. O'Hare and King, or West are side by side. Tyler King right there to capitalize if something happens. And Breitzman, knock knock, here comes the 46. He's back in this.
Could you believe, Samuel, as we come to 2 laps to go, less than 5 miles remaining, it is down to this for the win. Here at Pocono, a 3-truck battle with 2 to go, back into turn number 2, and in the middle is now going to be O'Hare trying to go to the lead.
Yeah, I mean, O'Hare certainly is getting the better run coming out of the corner, but the outside just way too strong. And the more that we're seeing side-by-side action, if any slip up from our front 3, it's going to give an opportunity to Breitzman. Utilize the draft. He's just about a 10th outside of getting that draft help. Here comes the 46 if they get a terrible launch out of the corner, but still, Dan West Jr., every single time through the tunnel turn, he's clearing the Beaver State guys.
They're in turn 3, what turn 4? They'll make their way, weaseling off of 3, back down the straightaway that mimics the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Dirt track, and it goes Dan West Jr. 2 truck links. Hillbounders are there of O'Hare and King. CRN1 to go. They're in turn 1, Greg, for the final time.
Man, what a run O'Hare got there with help from Tyler King into turn number 1. He wheels him in door to door into turn number 1 for the final time. What does Tyler King do in the number 21? I think he's going to be the key to this one.
Oh, he's got to push him up. For that of O'Hare, he's got the nose currently, but he's got to push Dan West Jr. up high into the entry of turn 2. If he wants a shot here through the tunnel turn, it's going to be Tyler King. Give it a bump. Here comes O'Hare out of 2.
They make contact. They still slide up. The lead goes to O'Hare. Dan West Jr. now opens up the door to his teammate Breitzman. Breitzman's there, a 3, now making a 4-truck single file. I don't think anyone's got a shot as now Tyler King comes after Dan West Jr. Sean Breitzman after Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr.'s in the wall. It makes contact. Stephen O'Hare, welcome to victory lane at Pocono.
It's a 1-2.
Stephen O'Hare for Beaver State Racing will win here at Pocono Racing Truck Series. His first win of the season. Tyler King, his teammate, in second. Breitzman gets around, or he tried to get around Dan West Jr. for 3rd. And Jeff Stab now in a top 5 finish here as the rest of the field crosses the finish line. A hell of a finish, Greg and Samuel, here at Pocono. One we will not forget for the ages to come.
A 3-truck battle for the ages. Unbelievable. Stephen O'Hare makes the move at the right time and gets a little bit of racer's luck to go with it. 3 wins last year. He finally breaks through. He wins Pocono. Unbelievable effort.
I thought for sure O'Hare burned off those tires too soon. He was battling so hard through laps with 4 laps to go. When we were coming to the white flag, there was about 2 tenths between that of O'Hare and Dan West Jr., and that was just enough for them to really crank up the speeds, get the run that was needed for the 41. And gosh, I mean, what a bump from that of Tyler King to give the 41 just enough space to slide in front of that of Dan West Jr.
What a job for the American touch-up entry for Beaver State Racing. And now you know what comes next, ladies and gentlemen. It's our salute to you and the winners of the Northwest Series. Now, you might want to go to a further view. Look at this. He's coming after you. Bam! I believe I can fly.
Run!
They're both flipping.
Oh my
That
goodness.
that was an all-time record right there for hang time in the Northwest
Oh
High
my
Five.
goodness. Tyler King and both O'Hare. They made contact and they both are now stuck in the infield. There is nowhere for them to go. As there's Tyler King.
Tyler King
He's on
landed
the
in
other
the
side of the
pit.
pit box.
He is behind the bid boxes, guys. I'm
Wait.
sorry.
Tyler King
Oh.
is back there behind his
Can
pit box.
can you see the air on this Independence Day weekend? Holy cow. The air was up there for Stephen O'Hare, which probably Greg was oh my goodness, there he is. He's in the parking lot where the campers are.
Oh, he's already out of the truck having a nice cold beer. He won. He's
The
down there
campers
celebrating
have
with the
already
race fans.
left. They are practicing social distancing. But oh wow, Greg, I know we've done a lot of Northwest events. This is our second year. Samuel, I know you've just recently jumped on board here, but that has to be the biggest fly through the air, into the pit lane, over the pit lane, through the wall I have ever seen for a celebration for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Freaky fast or freaky fly? Can we say that as well? Thank you. Exactly.
Celebration-wise, absolutely, that is by far the record there for hang time and distance. I cannot get over where Tyler King landed. He landed in the pit boxes. That is incredible. I cannot believe what just happened, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the guys setting up over at turn 3, and they
Robert,
were getting
can we
all
see a replay of
singled
that?
out.
Can we see a replay of the celebration of the 41? Can we see that again? I mean, that's worth an instant replay. I mean, that's worth an instant replay. How high in the air did he go? Did he go as high as the grandstands?
Oh, there he is. He's going to the grandstands. He's going to the moon.
I mean, my goodness.
I'm gonna have to.
Bombing.
We gotta ask Stefan if he saw with the nearest Sonic Drive-In or.
This was so damn
something.
good. It is
All right, here we
worth an
go.
instant
Quick
replay.
cam.
Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen. Celebration for Stephen O'Hare.
Doink.
Oh yeah, he surpassed the top of the grandstands.
That was unbelievable.
Oh,
wow.
man.
And that's how we do. That's just how we do what we do.
Look
in the
at how
Northwest.
happy he is.
I mean, this guy, and look at
There's Tyler
Tyler
King
King right there with him.
Tyler King hit someone completely different. Like that, Tyler King was not even a part of O'Hare's hit.
I could totally
I don't even know
agree.
what King hit.
You know what we should do? We should turn this into our first ever iRacing meme and put in the words of Talladega Nights, yeah, I'm flying through the air now. This is not good.
And they both stuck the landing. If you notice, both landed on their wheels.
Can we show you the unofficial results that have now hopefully become official? Look at this one. Here's the results. Stephen O'Hare picks up the win. Tyler King in second spot. Sean Brightsman will finish in third after the wall, right in the battle for the lead. What a battle, what a finish. He'll finish third and fourth. Jeff Stapp now having his handling suspension issues. 5. BJ Tidrick is 6th. John Onenbacher 7th. Robert Campbell, the top 8 here at Pocono.
Sam, I'll take 8. You take 8 here for this one. Actually, I'll take 6 and you take the rest. In 11th is Kevin Smith in the number 00. Fights back to finish 11th. Troy Daggett 12th. Judd Wakefield, Dennis Moore, Paul Newton, Ryan Bloom, and Frank Harris. Here, Sam, finish them off.
And then 18th is going to be that of Chris White with Scott Hutchinson. Going to be in 19th. And those are the drivers that could not finish this race. Starting out with Devin West in 20th. Toby Ritter going to be in 21st for the 23. Clifford was hoping for a better day. And then also Catman James Viney in 22nd with Carl Burke. And then also that of James Thurston, who did not even really have a shot here for the 2 to put down a time.
When we return, after a quick break, we will grab a word with our top 3. Stephen O'Hare, once again, back in victory lane after 3 wins last year. And as we approach the Independence Day holiday July 4th break, he survives a wild one here at Pocono. We'll talk to him and the rest of the top 3 in our post-race show. Next, LSRTV, Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and CRN Sports. What a good one here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle did not disappoint. Back here at Pocono Raceway, the ones did not disappoint. Neither did the Tricky Triangle for the drivers of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, presented by Tom Denschel Automotive Group. Again, Stephen O'Hare back to victory lane. His first win of the season as we get ready for a July 4th holiday break. Samuel Dyer, Greg Rentz, the voices. I'm Wesley Alton as well. Also to Robert Moyer Jr. for Freaky Fast Broadcasting for doing this production for LSRTV and CRN Sports in the absence of our Rocket Media producer of Charles Wooten, who has a family emergency. We're going to grab a word with our top three. Up first, Sean Brightsman. So Sean won Dover. He swept the race at Laguna Seca for the Cup and Truck of the Northwest, and he won the Cup race at Sebring. Did not win last Wednesday night, but another podium top three finish, though. Good run for you. Consistent in the Cup, consistent in the Truck. Sean Brightsman, what you take of a crazy finish here at Pocono? I did not think it'd end the way that it did. You're third.
Wes, what a great race to watch from fourth before, narrowly grabbing third from Dan there. That was a amazing show the Beaver State Racing boys did. Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare, just amazing. They worked together really well all race long. Even their third, Dennis Moore, as well. So hats off to the whole Beaver State crew for working hard together. Congrats, Stephen, on this win. But overall, I mean, we had a pretty good truck. It was not quite right at the start. We kind of made some early race adjustments at that green flag stop, and I think it really came to life. And I think we had something for them if we weren't racing too hard before that.
So we have 3 broadcasters. We'll ask a question, and then Samuel will ask a question as well. Go ahead, Greg Rance.
So, Sean, my question goes in line with the caution flags, because on Monday we saw you try to stretch the fuel mileage all the way to the absolute limit there, going on a 40-lap green flag run. That race went caution-free. We didn't get a chance to see if you were going to do that or not when that caution came out in the middle of that second green flag run. Was that going to be something that you tried again, and the caution kind of just threw everything into limbo, or did you have a set strategy and it was just kind of go with the flow of the race?
You know, I kind of go with the flow of the race. I wasn't sure what I was doing at that point. You could have asked on lap 40 what I was going to do, and I'd be like, I don't know. I'm pitting at some point in time. I was kind of torn because I needed to make up some time on those guys. I was catching them, and was thinking about pitting early so that way I could hopefully leapfrog them and hold on to that. But yeah, just really indecisive of my strategy, which doesn't always help. But yeah.
I mean, Sean, late there you did have some rear end damage that seemed to be holding you back just slightly, but you still had a ton of speed. Late in this race, you were slowly catching up to our top 3 when they were battling. If you feel like there was maybe another 2 laps there, do you think you might have had a shot for the win here?
We might have had a shot. I think we had a better shot if I would have not tried to pass Tyler and just stayed in line. Once I tried to pass Tyler and just lost all momentum, it was done for. So 2 laps would have helped, especially with Dan hitting the wall and stuff, and Tyler having to kind of check up for it. So it definitely would have helped me potentially get up there. But either way, great solid finish.
Sponsor. Sean, great 4th of July. We'll see you at the Knoxville Dirt Track in a couple of weeks, my friend.
Thanks, Wes. Yeah, just got to thank Bright's Boutique. Check us out at etsy.com/shop/Bright's Boutique. Custom handmade earrings, clay earrings, other things if you want something resin made or anything like that. Got to give a shout out to, of course, the Tom Bench Auto Group for supporting the Northwest Racing Series, as well as all of our Northwest Racing Series sponsors over the season. Northwest Sugar, Outdoor Cast Iron Cook, which we should see some more of those, and everybody here at LSRTV. Thoughts and prayers with Cody. Hopefully everything's going well, and big shout out to the 4th of July. I hope everybody has a safe 4th. Thank you, guys.
John Brightsman, again, originally from Puyallup, Washington, now from the land of the cactus and the hot desert. It's always hot in Arizona. Brightsman will finish in the number 3 spot. Runner-up of the race, it is the Beaver State Racing Clan. Tyler King peels oranges. Second, your take of the race here tonight at Pocono. You come so close to tasting the victory lane here at the Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, but we had a great race. The entire Beaver State Racing crew, we put a lot of effort in this week. At least Dennis did. He did most of the work for us. Put us together a great setup, and we were able to execute and have a great race. I mean, I hate to finish second, and I'm not too happy about it, but I couldn't finish second to anybody better. Got to push my best friend in the whole world to a win, and did it just a week after his wedding, so he's riding on cloud 9, I think, right now.
Well, Tyler, you kind of answered my question that I had there. I was going to ask you, in those last 5 laps, were you more set on trying to get a win for Beaver State Racing, or try to get yourself that first win?
Well, it's really tough because it's all about momentum here at Pocono. Getting off the corner down the straightaway as fast as you can, and to get by one guy is hard enough. To get by 2 is almost impossible. So my goal was to get Stefan out front by Dan, and hopefully that would allow me to get by Dan. And if I had enough time, I might have been able to work Stefan, but we were super close in speed. So I don't think I could have got him, but if not me, Beaver State, go team.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, it's certainly a great showing from Beaver State. And real question for me is, how did Monday help translate anything to here tonight to help you guys get the 1-2 finish?
Monday was pivotal, I'd say, in our race today. Steph and I hadn't raced for weeks. I mean, almost a month, I'd say, because we had the 2 weeks off and we had the 2 road course races, which we just kind of skipped. Had other things going on. So getting out Monday was huge to see if we could still drive pretend race cars. And we had a great race then, and momentum carried right over today, and we were able to get by that last guy and take the top 2 spots, which could have had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, this momentum for sure has got to be like a booster for you, man, going into July 4th. Dirt track racing at Knoxville, Nashville Super Speedway, Indianapolis. They're all coming up on the way. What's your take of everything for this holiday coming up, bud?
Well, really happy for our partners, American Touch Up. I mean, American Touch Up went in right before the 4th of July. It's a big deal. What's more American than Peel's California mandarins? Nothing better than having a hot summer day.
And the Phoenix Suns, the LA Clippers?
No comment on this one. Go Blazers.
Why are you going to bring that up, man?
All right, man. Second spot. Hey, by the way, have you recovered from whiplash yet, flying through the air virtually? There, you and Stephen O'Hare. That was
Yeah, but we always wear a Hans device when we're mounted up in our sim rigs here. You can never be too safe. Yeah, we took off from what was that, Fort Dan West Jr.
Fort.
We both went doge to the moon, so we're good to be back home.
There you go. All right. Look out, Space Force. We've got some in the Northwest for sure. Tyler King, for runner-up, second spot. Like a win for him and again for his friend. Definitely. Stephen O'Hare in the victory lane. Teammate also for Beaver State Racing. Number 41, Stephen O'Hare. Let's just go back, cap the season if we can for the Northwest Truck Series. And last year for the driver of Stephen O'Hare. When it's all said and done, last season, Stephen O'Hare, 7th overall in the points. He had a total of 3 wins. I believe we talked about that as well. Or actually, I believe he had a total of, and it's been kind of a crazy slump, if you will, this season. But finally, 3 wins. He breaks through. He goes to victory lane very well. And my stats were correct on this. You did win at Pocono last year. You're a repeat winner. Congratulations, Stephen O'Hare.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's Pocono, the momentum tracks I enjoy. I don't know that I'm necessarily good at, but apparently it's worked here at Pocono for me. So this is a fun race. I hope it was fun to watch. Those last few laps were a ton of fun. Huge shout out to Dan West Jr. It was an absolute blast racing him. As I was racing, it was like, how are we side by side? For the last 5 laps at Pocono, it was pretty exciting. So thanks to him for having a great race, really fun. And then also shout out to Tyler King. He helped me out a ton. Beaver State Racing, getting the second place there, 1-2 finish. And then, it really wouldn't have been possible without Dennis and all the work that he put on the setup. So unfortunate that he didn't make it to the end, but it was a fun race.
Stephen, let's talk about that battle between you and Dan West Jr. That went on for probably the last 15 laps or so, but like you said, the last 5 laps has been really heated up. How comforting was it knowing you had a teammate back there behind you, as opposed to someone else who, you wouldn't necessarily have as much trust in as a teammate, but knowing Brightsman was lurking back there as well? What's going through your mind those last 5 laps to try to A, capitalize on any mistake by West, but B, knowing your teammates back there to help you, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, I was trying to kind of help Tyler, and throughout the race, I felt like we had a pretty good long run car or truck, and so I felt like I felt pretty confident being able to track down Dan, and so I figured it would be best to have a teammate behind me, and it worked for a little bit, but as soon as I caught Dan, he found the second gear, and it got really challenging. So it was very comforting to know that I had a teammate behind me, and Tyler and I have been racing for quite some time together. Monday, we ran pretty much bumper to bumper throughout the race. And so it was really helpful to have him back there, and I felt pretty confident that at the very least, he would get me by Dan, and then it would be between me and him. It just so happened that Dan was a lot faster than I thought. And on that last, or on turn 3, coming to the white flag, I figured if I ease into the turn, I might be able to get a better run down that long front stretch, especially with Tyler behind me, and that worked to my favor.
Yeah, I mean, Stefan, talking about momentum, this course was all about momentum, but how do you feel like this helps you through the rest of the regular season, getting the win here at Pocono and just trying to carry this momentum forward?
I mean, you finally broke through, and last season, we had a few wins, and this season we've started off pretty slow, but we've been slowly building momentum. I thought we had a great run and an awesome truck throughout the entire team. At Dover, we just totally missed on the pit strategy there. So I think we were due. I'm super glad to be carrying the flag for Beaver State Racing on our first win this season, but I wholeheartedly expect that we should have all 4 trucks. We've got 2 of them, I guess. So I take that back. Paul's got our first Beaver State racing win. But I expect all 4 of us to be in victory lane by the end of the season.
Hey, I will say this, and you can thank your sponsors in closing as well, Stefan. You punch your ticket in the playoffs. You're right now 6th in the updated after 14 races, and you join now 7 different winners on the season this year. Thank you on that as we get ready for the July 4th.
Yeah, excited to lock in a playoff spot. Definitely got to thank American Touch-Up Paints. Find them on Amazon. They do custom paints. Nicole Bryan Photography for allowing me the time to come out here and race everybody. And Peels, California Mandarins, for supporting us. Also, really like to thank Northwest Racing Series, all the guys involved in the series, our admins for putting us on and allowing everybody the time to practice and continue to improve. Conventional Auto Group for supporting those efforts, and certainly you guys with LSRTV for allowing all of our family and friends to watch some awesome racing and putting Beaver State Racing in victory lane.
He becomes the 7th different winner this season. And then the 4th of July holiday break coming up in 2 weeks at the Knoxville Dirt Track. That's the driver, of course, for Beaver State Racing, number 41, Stefan O'Hare in victory. Again, second spot going to his teammate Tyler King, and Sean Brightsman will finish in the number 3 position. Well, Samuel Dyer, Greg Wrench, your final thoughts on things. We get ready for a 4th of July holiday break. It's been a fun one here at Pocono. Definitely one that I did not expect with the finish to be the way it did.
Oh, man, it was a great race, Wesley, from start to finish. Only 2 cautions slowing us down, but, man, it was a entertaining race from start to finish. And then 3 trucks, throw them under a blanket with the 4th one lurking back there just in case something happened. For the final 15 laps was just so much fun to watch it unfold. I loved every second of it here. Unbelievable effort all night long. Hey, basketball season's over for me, so I get to kick back and get ready for Monday night's cup race next week, though, because we're off next week.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Samuel Dyer, always a pleasure, bud.
It really is. I do want to give note. I know we kind of missed it, but Aaron Cooper, first top 10 this season. Got to feel good for that team. For Aaron Cooper, I mean, he started off, almost got wrecked immediately, able to come back. But exciting for these guys on how this rest of the season is going to go. Again, another break next week, and then we get back to racing. But Greg, it's okay. I'm a Warriors fan. My team didn't even make the playoffs, so it's we made the play-in bracket, but we really didn't go far.
Yeah, we want to acknowledge Aaron Cooper. Normally we do grab the only, but I do want to say big props to 71 Aaron Cooper for having a good run in the top 10. Hey, we want to thank some other superheroes along the way. First off, Arthurs are with our good friend from Rocket Media at LSRTV, Charles Wooten. His uncle having health issues. He had to immediately relocate to San Antonio, Texas, to be with his family and loved ones. As we all celebrate, as we go about our day-to-days, please say a prayer. Keep your thoughts in the iRacing family for our buddy Charles Wooten. One of the things is we're all stretched out across the world. Greg Rentz is in Washington, sweating to death. Samuel Dyer's in California, sweating, surfing like always. And I'm a Carolina boy, just come back from the beach, and it's not 100-plus degrees, thank goodness. Robert Moyer, thank you to him, being a saving grace. Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Now, if you ever get a chance, check out Freaky Fast Broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. He's got you covered. If you ever need Robert Moyer Jr. for any broadcasting as well, choose LSRTV or Freaky Fast Broadcasting. By the way, they are the top of the line, in my opinion, and the best. And we appreciate Robert Moyer for stepping up to the plate. And honestly, the carriage becoming the pumpkin, if you will, at the last minute, or honestly, the midnight hour to make this thing happen. And they definitely done it. We also want to say thank you to Matt Johnson with Extreme Sim TV. He was supposed to try to broadcast the S&B Cup Series event, which, by the way, Greg, big props to Jacob Grant. He did get the win here tonight for the S&B Cup Series at Indianapolis.
Good for him. Good for him. Got shut out in Season 2. Awesome to hear he got the victory tonight.
Punch his ticket into the playoffs, and all of those races will return. And by the way, if you'd like to know more, again, go to LSR TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and CRN Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Thanks again for Freaky Fast Broadcasting for making this happen. On behalf of everybody at LLC, for Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, for Samuel Dyer, for Greg Rance, I'm Wesley Outland, in the production chair again, Robert Moyer Jr. for tonight. Thank you to everybody for watching or listening, and congratulations to Stephen O'Hare, back to victory lane of the Northwest iRacing Cup and Truck Series. Have a great 4th of July. Freedom isn't free. Thank a soldier, and God bless America.